To see the fully uncut version of this video, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons.
What's that like to live deliciously? Chaos reigns.
Please don't scream.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's going on? My name is Jonjo Lyons, and today I'm here to present to you my review for Cut. Written and directed by all these wonderful people. Cut stars! All of these lot. Years after the original director was killed during the filming of a low-budget thriller, a crew of film students set out to finish where she left off. When the filming begins, so too do the killings. How's it going, Slasher fans? That's right, Slasher Month is split into 2 months now, because I didn't get the other videos out last month because I'm just super busy. This week we're taking a look at yet another love letter to my favourite subgenre, and even better, it's Australian. And stars Kylie Minogue and Molly Ringwald, one more than the other. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you, you can see this video completely uncut and early at patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons for as little as $3 a month. That's it. Want to see the uncut reviews, the Patreon exclusive reviews that can't be on YouTube anymore, and gain access to the Discord? Go over there now. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, my short film Better Anything is live on the channel. I'm so proud of what we were able to achieve with that film, and now I'm halfway through finishing my second feature script. The first feature script, Withdrawals, which I mentioned a few times on the channel. Some interesting things happened with that recently, but I'm gonna save that for another time. Also, check out my wife's channel where she does short horror movie reviews about horror shorts. And finally, check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Jonjo Lyons. Starting this week, I'm going to be streaming every single night from 8 PM UK time and earlier on Saturdays and Sundays. YouTube has stopped recommending my videos now, so I guess while I do still make these videos, I'm going to start doing Twitch a lot more and taking it super seriously. This week is going to be mostly dedicated to playing as many horror game demos as I can possibly find. I've already got a ton in the library, so it's going to be a good time. That's twitch.tv/Jonjo Lyons. I'd really appreciate it if you came and gave me a follow. But anyway, I'm in the mood to see some Sheilas get slashed. I couldn't even go the whole intro without doing it. I'm so sorry, Marg. So let's not waste any more time. Get ready to see what happens when you revisit a cursed film. This is Cut. The movie begins with a buttload of production company logos, then cuts to this mother leaving dinner on the stove as her daughter returns home from school. We then, of course, cut to her in the shower when she notices this friendly message on the mirror. She calls out for her mother but doesn't get a response, so just forgets about it as downstairs the boiling over pot is turned down by Freddy Krueger, I assume. The girl then checks on her cat to find it very much dead before answering the phone and getting this intimidating message.
Now you die.
She locks her bedroom door as the killer starts banging on it and calls out for help. Then she runs around for a bit, checking the drop out the window when the handsome killer bursts in, rocking this pretty amazing signature weapon.
Cut! Cut! Cut it! Cut!
Yes, it's a movie. We've got a slasher movie about people trying to make a slasher movie. And as I said in the intro, that's Molly Ringwald and Kylie Minogue. Aren't we a lucky bunch?
You idiot! I told you not to go for the throat straight away. You've got to rip her blouse off first. Like in rehearsals, remember?
Oh, maybe it's not quite as lucky for him, though. The director of this movie, Kylie, calls it a night, and Molly, playing actress Vanessa, kicks off about not having her Coca-Cola ready at wrap, and we cut to Kylie doing whatever this is. The guy playing the killer enters her office and seems hurt about being made to look. Kylie then tells him he's replaceable, so he does this. Jesus Christ, why'd you cut off your own finger? Well, I guess that's the end of her singing career. Vanessa then comes to tell Kylie something but gets grabbed by the killer/annoyed actor. They then struggle when this fella, Lossman, pops in and Vanessa stabs the killer in the throat, which does this. Electric powers? Don't worry, it all gets explained at the end. Sort of. Cut to 12 years later as long-haired Lossman is now short-haired and a college professor teaching film. He was telling his students, including Raffi here, final girl material, that those events are why he doesn't include the slasher genre on his course. Raffi then asks if it would be possible to see the unfinished film as she thinks finishing it would be great for the end-of-year project. Lossman then tries his best to dissuade the students from trying to finish the horror film, which is called Hot Blooded, by the way.
Because that movie was a nightmare and you don't go playing with nightmares.
Lossman ends the class, but Raffi and Hester persist, asking why they can't do it. He then tells them a story of another young filmmaker who attempted to finish the film years ago.
The kid was butchered, but the police never found the killer. The creepy thing is, the projectionist was the only one with access to the screening room.
I love this guy's reaction. Cut yourself shaving, did you there? Alright, I'm off to the pub. I won't do the accent again. Then Lossman explains the producer tried to finish the film himself and ended up dead. Basically, anyone who touches this movie dies.
Don't waste your combined talents on this ugly piece of shit.
I'm glad no one said that to Cassidy before we got married. You're stuck with me now,
So what do you think?
I think it'd be cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
idiots. I'm so happy. Cut to a research montage and enter the crew confirming they can get the rights and the original star Vanessa to be in it. After this fella worries about the curse, they all agree to do it and the film introduces everyone by name as if it's genuinely trying to help me out. Hester, Raffi, Damien, Rick, Cassie, Paulie, Jim and Julie. Thanks movie! Cut to Hollywood as Vanessa's agent convinces her to do the movie. Skip. Cut to Vanessa arriving in Australia and being less impressed with her pickup car. Then there's a press conference as Vanessa sells the movie and we cut to the producer's widow's house as she cuts a check to help fund the film. She also makes them sign a contract saying she isn't responsible for anything that happens on the set.
It's called blood money, girls. Blood money.
Cut to the crew attending a screening of Hot Blooded with this fella Bobby who's going to be playing the killer. Julie notices they're in the same theatre where the other guy got murdered watching the same film, but I'm sure they're going to be fine. Vanessa then arrives and is of course a...
I'm Bobby Doog, I'm your co-star. I'm playing Scarman. Psycho killer guy.
Good casting.
Cut to Raffi and Hester delivering the film reels to the projectionist who seems super chill.
You get these gender-specific assholes that think that screen violence is going to turn us all into mass murderers. Well, it's crap.
A creep after my own heart. They then start the film and confusingly, Vanessa's death is the opening scene. Why did they bother to get her back then? We see a shadow creeping around when Vanessa decides she's had enough. Raffi notices something wet under her shoe and we see this is actually the raw footage. Raffi then marvels at hearing the director's voice.
Yes, wake up.
Oh shit, is everyone dead? Damn, this movie's gonna have a massive body count. The killer then jumps out and attacks Raffi, but it turns out it was all just a joke.
That's enough. It's cruel.
Okay, fine, but how the f did Julie do that makeup so quickly and in the dark?
I did the makeup. Not bad for a quickie in the dark, eh, Rat?
That's your speciality, isn't it, Jules? Quickies in the dark?
You're a Paulie.
Anyway, Raffi f***s off and the rest of them leave, which means they're not going to watch the film. Hester then leaves a note for the suddenly absent projectionist saying to leave the film cans with reception so they can grab him in the morning. Cut to the morning as everyone leaves for the shoot. Hester apologises to Raffi for the prank and they take off when we see they now have 3 film canisters, which is interesting. Raffi suggests they broke the curse since everyone lived and we also see Vanessa's driver as Lossman. Cut to the crew arriving at a motel. And here we get a lot of relationship talk.
This is the place.
What place?
The place where Cassie and I are finally going to consummate our blossoming relationship.
Uh-huh.
She's got her eye on Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Damien's got a thing for Raffi.
Right.
Raffi's got the hots for Bobby.
Go on.
Bobby's got a thing for Jules.
Jules is porking Jim.
Yes.
I thought Jim was porking Hester.
Moving on.
Hester's a you dork. Plus, she's got the hots for Raffi.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing that.
What about Raffi and Bobby?
Well, Raffi and Bobby is...
Enough! Then, of course, Vanessa hates her room and Lossman offers to give her some Reiki. Reiki, if you've never heard of it, is the absolutely bollocks technique of massage where you don't actually touch the person. You're like massaging their energy or some shit. Some girl did it to me once. And yes, you're quite right. She was a white girl with dreads that didn't wear deodorant. Cut to the crew arriving at the set, the mansion from the original. Inside we meet Mr. Drivet, who is all don't f*** up my mansion and whatnot, but Hester assures him they'll be fine. He then tells them the rules: no drugs, no loud music, no food or drink, and no personal calls. Raffi then asks for a safe place to keep the film print, and Drivet suggests his bedroom. Then Rick throws a plate because he's the funny one, I guess. Cut to Raffi and Hester outside getting the film canisters when Raffi notices the building Kylie was murdered in. We also find out that they don't have any phone signal here because horror movie. Wait, why did they make it look like Hester saw the person in the bushes but didn't react to it? Cut to a production meeting as Raffi explains Scarface's backstory.
When they were kids, their parents went out and left them on their own in the house, and the house caught on fire. Now, Charlie got horribly burned and scarred for life.
Whoops!
But his beautiful sister Chloe got out unscathed. Now, he hates her for that, and he hates his mum and dad for doing this to him.
Vanessa is playing Chloe, and that's why she's the final girl, even though in the original she died in the opening scene. Who wrote this movie? I mean Hot Blooded, the movie in the movie, not Cut. Apparently now Vanessa is playing the mother, and she's the final girl in the version they're making. Cut to the kitchen where Bobby jump scares Vanessa and gets kneed in the balls for his troubles.
Scare you?
Hurt you?
Then later he has a costume fitting where he starts getting slightly too much into character.
Now you die.
Oh great, it's going to be one of those movies. Halloween Ends all over again. Look forward to a video about that coming out at some point. Cut to Rick having a piss and getting jump scared by Scarface, who I guess is Bobby. He storms off and goes to wash his hands, then pops inside. Cut to the crew filming and Hester having a heart-to-heart with Lossman.
You think about it, they can be cathartic for young kids. I mean, it's all about letting go of your fear.
And tits! Bloody tits! Tits with blood on them! Bobby then jump scares Lossman, and we cut back to the movie theatre where this fella discovers the projectionist extremely dead. Cut to the cops at the scene as detectives Hollander and Carter are filled in on the disemboweling and told the last people on the scene were the film crew. Then we go back to the set as Vanessa continues to complain and someone watches them from the bushes. Then we cut to sexy time as Paulie and Cassie get all smushy on a kitchen table. Where food is prepared, is having sex in places other people use just a thing that Cassies do? Because if there's two, there's gotta be more. Unfortunately, this session is interrupted by Scarface, who picks up a meat cleaver. It's alright, Cass, it's only Bobby. He's just method acting. Jesus, alright Daniel Day-Lewis! Then there's the usual slasher kitchen fight, which apparently no one can hear outside when Cassie gets her arm cut and then gets turned into wall art.
Stick around.
Hester suggests they finish for the night and Raffi agrees before telling Vanessa tomorrow they're going to be shooting her death scene. So she's not the final girl? I am so confused about what her role is supposed to be. Sometime later, everyone prepares to return to the motel when Hester complains about the missing crew members. Then Bobby makes a surprise appearance and goes on about being a method actor.
Just doing the method.
Yeah, meaning scaring the shit out of people. I'm still wet, by the way.
What?
Oh, you fake sincerity so well.
It's a secret of good acting, mate.
Yeah.
We also get this creepy look from Jim. On the bus, these two discuss the day and Hester offers to have a drink with Raffi, but she declines. Back at the hotel, Raffi has a shower because she is absolutely filthy when we see a shadowy figure sneaking into her room. They turn off the lights and Raffi goes to investigate when she's jump scared by Damien.
What are you doing here?
Sorry, I thought you might want some company.
And by company, I assume he means getting your ass eaten. Cut to Lossman and Vanessa having a heart-to-heart about the trauma they experienced. Vanessa says she's worried about shooting the scenes tomorrow, and Lossman assures her he'll be there when we cut back to Raffi and see we've missed the party. What happened to the sex scene? They were gonna do a sex scene! Damien then questions why Raffi has to finish the film, and she cryptically says it's personal. Whatever, I'm so annoyed. Cut to the morning as the cops collar Raffi and Hester to question them about the projectionist. Raffi mentions the curse, but the cops ain't hearing that shit. Which is completely fair enough. Anyway, the cops then leave their card and get the details of where they'll be filming and bugger off. Without questioning anyone else. They were the last people on the scene. Whatever. Cut to Raffi and Hester chatting with the latter trying to convince the former to keep filming. Raffi brings up the 2 missing crew members, but Hester explains it away, saying they're probably somewhere drunk and banging, then says they shouldn't tell the others about the projectionist. So the cops really didn't speak to a single other crew member. Great police work, lads.
If Cass and Paulie don't turn up by crew call, I'll call the cops, okay?
Okay.
Kiss!
You are brilliant. And you're gonna make a brilliant movie.
Oh, shit! That doesn't usually work. Finger bang!
We just gotta keep it all on the rails.
Ah, shit. Never mind. I was pushing my luck. Cut to everyone arriving back on set. Hester goes upstairs in search of Mr. Drivet when she's called back to wardrobe by Raffi. Here we find out the doubles and extra masks for Bobby's costume have mysteriously vanished, as outside these two worry about finding a generator for the extra lights. Jim then takes off in search of one, jumping in the van when we see Scarman is chilling in the back. And he is not friendly.
Get out of here. Oh my god.
But weren't they hinting at him being the killer with that weird bus look like 2 minutes ago? Whatever. On set, Raffi is blocking their next shot when Scarman makes an appearance. They then decide to go for a rehearsal. Rick makes a joke about Damien banging Raffi and gets attacked for it, but for the life of me, I can't understand why. That all gets split up and they go for a take when we cut to Hester trying to call the police. Look, I'm sorry, I really don't want to beat a dead horse here, but did you see the honkers on that corpse? Hester runs and bumps into the killer, who gives chase, leading our heroine to hide in this cozy little place. Unfortunately, it doesn't take long for her to be discovered, manhandled, slashed, then dispatched in a violent nature style. Holy f***, how much blood did Hester have in her head? Worst thing about this, we now know for sure Hester will never ever...
You disgust me. Go on.
Cut to the crew setting up when Damien wonders where Jim is. Raffi goes to look for him but doesn't find anything before being jump scared by Lossman. He then asks her why this film, and we get this reveal.
Why this movie?
I told you already.
It wouldn't have something to do with your mother, would it?
My mother?
Hillary Jacobs? She was your mother, right?
Yes, Raffi is Kylie's daughter, hence why this movie is so personal to her and why she enjoyed hearing her voice so much.
Everybody thought that she was a hack director, but she wasn't, Mr. Lossman. She was so much more than that.
They both say how talented she was when Lossman notices the tyre to all the vehicles have been slashed. Apparently that isn't enough to truly panic Raffi, who just heads back inside. Cut to a very agitated Bobby taking off his mask when he's jump scared by this fella. Wait, if Bobby's here, who's the in the mask?
Hey, I've got one of those too.
I like this scene, but it doesn't hold a candle to my favourite scene of the absolute classic Halloween Resurrection.
I said, what you looking at me like that for? Huh? You don't get it? You don't get it? Your shit ain't working up there or something?
Oh, and we get this line.
Face off. Wes Craven style.
Face Off, Wes Craven style? Wes Craven didn't direct Face Off. If I'm missing something with that reference, can you please explain it in the comments, just so I know what the f he's going on about. Anyway, that's about it for Bobby. Cut to Raffi ready for a take when Julie goes and grabs the killer who she thinks is Bobby. Raffi shows the killer the fake blade and explains how she wants Vanessa stabbed before going for a take. As they're getting ready, the killer picks up the real blade as outside somebody is honking their horn. Lossman goes out to tell them to shut the f up, and we see it's the producer's widow.
The evil is back. Oh, I knew this would
Hello! They then go for a take, but Vanessa tells them to cut as she's got a loose eyelash. Outside, the widow asks about the original film print and warns that they must destroy it before everyone is killed. Inside, they go for another take when the killer gives up the goose, attacking the whole crew and causing them to flee.
Bobby, what the hell are you doing?
That's not Bobby! Come on, Vanessa, come on, quick!
Except Damien, who is still trying to get the shot. Well, yeah, what did you think was going to happen, mate? Is that supposed to be some joke about how the DOP is the most dedicated person in the crew? They tried to escape in the widow's car, but obviously she has the keys, so Lossman goes to find her as Vanessa says she killed this monster once before and heads into. Raffi follows her and they find Damien dead as Cut to Rick and Julie in the car.
I've always found you very attractive.
Oh, off.
I think she genuinely might be my favourite character in the film. Cut to Raffi and Vanessa creeping when they hear a scream as outside the killer goes after our car dwellers. We get an intense sequence here I'm sure was somewhat inspired by Scream as the killer tries to get inside before having another idea.
It's petrol.
Run! Plenty of time, guys! Great, now he's coming back. Oh, Julie, you d***head. Then the killer lights up the car because apparently now the doors don't work. Thoroughly stupid, but some pretty nice fire stunts, so good work. Back inside, our leading ladies grab some weapons and investigate upstairs when they're jump scared by Lossman again. Oh, and they also find the mansion owner dead with his dog licking up his blood. Lovely. And apparently the widow found the body and had a stroke.
She's still alive?
Will you f*** off with the jump scares, please? With the widow now properly dead, Lossman explains how they have to destroy the film print to stop the curse. Then on the way down the stairs, they fall like absolute dimlos before getting jumped and Lossman catching a throat full of screwdriver. The women then fight the killer when Vanessa distracts him long enough for Raffi to get her hands on the film. The killer chases her upstairs as the cops arrive at the entrance gate.
Well, this must be the place.
Cut to Vanessa locking herself in what was once the bedroom set and having another fight with the killer which almost ends exactly the same way. Thankfully, Raffi throwing the film in the fire causes the killer to start melting. And reveal his face. Sex on toast. Toasty? Sex? The cops stop Raffi from what she's doing as the fella goes inside and witnesses this. They then have a short chat, ending with the cop shooting the killer and getting his head cut off. Then the lady cop goes inside and tries to fight the killer, but when that doesn't work, she unloads her gun into him.
I'm something special, huh?
And when that doesn't work, she tries to run. That extremely round tap going through her must have really stung. The killer then goes back for Vanessa, who I guess got knocked out somehow, but now she's back on her feet. Until the killer moves a bit quick and sends her flying out the window. He picks up the gas outside and goes to finish the job when Raffi throws more of the film in the fire, melting the f*** out of the killer, causing this awesome effect to his mush. He still manages to soak Vanessa in gas and lights a trail going after her, then goes back to fight Raffi. We also see Lossman is somehow still alive as he pulls that giant thing out of his neck. Instead of immediately bleeding to death, he throws the rest of the film in the fire, turning the killer into a sloppy melty man. Which I think is f***ing awesome. Look at him, he's turning into a puddle. Raffi then crawls over to Lossman and we see a bunch of headlines, then cut to the hospital where we see Vanessa is also still alive. They assure her the killer is fully dead when we cut to New York as this professor is about to screen hot blood into her students because apparently they somehow had a copy. They start the film up when suddenly everything gets electric once again. end. Well, what an amazing Australian slasher movie. It would have been a 10 out of 10 if they hadn't skipped the sex scene. Cut is a slasher movie I was worried about finally seeing. I assumed it was going to be similar to the last two films I've covered in terms of gore and just be another Scream ripoff. Instead, what we get is a pretty original take on the slasher movie with some wacky as stuff towards the end. The story is simple enough, with a film student attempting to finish an apparently cursed slasher movie. Then people start dying, and while you might think at first it's one of the crew doing it, it turns out to be the Fredified killer from the original shoot who is somehow stuck in the film now. I guess it was that electricity or whatever. It's never explained. I thought the story worked well enough here, and like the fact that the killer came out of the film as well as Raffi turning out to be Kylie's daughter. There's not really more to it than that. Good clean fun. On to the characters, and everyone does a fine job. I liked both Raffi and Vanessa as the joint final girls, each with their own score to settle with the killer, and the killer, when he was finally unmasked, actually having a personality. Just a little too late. That's another thing this movie does. It gives us both Jason and Freddy in one killer. I just wish we could have got more of him chatting. Oh, and don't forget Julie, who is the MVP of the whole film. I loved her so much. Next is the gore, and I was pleasantly surprised by this one. As I said, the last couple of Scream knockoffs I've reviewed haven't been very bloody, so this was a nice change of pace with multiple beheadings, stabs and slit throats to keep me happy. Plus Hester's insanely blood-filled head getting popped. As always, I could have done with more, but I really loved what we got. Production-wise, I thought the film looked great. Nice camera work, score and editing. This is going to be an insanely quick segment because there's not a single complaint from me. Good stuff. In the end, Cut is a fun little slasher made by people that clearly love my favourite subgenre. It gives us both sides of the slasher coin, acting as a whodunit before delving fully into the supernatural, and I just love that. Check it out if you love Aussie cinema and want to see Kylie get murdered for some reason. So that was my review for Cut. What do you lot think? I'm so pissed that it took me so many years to see this. 12-year-old Jonjo would have loved it. 1 for being about filmmakers, and 2 for all those juicy beheadings. Speaking of which, if you want to see Cass get turned into wall art completely uncut and early, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. There you can find the uncut version of this review, plus others with more stuff being added every single week. We got the uncut reviews, Patreon exclusive reviews, slasher comic breakdowns, and the Discord. And all that could be yours for as little as $3 a month. You can pledge more, I really appreciate it, as I need to raise the money for my feature film Haunted. And here's a taste of what we're going to be reviewing next week. It looks good, doesn't it? So that's it for another week. Like the video, leave a comment, and click subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Jonjo Lyons, and I'm going to write the script for Cut 2. Except the sex scene, I'm going to show it. All of it. It's going to be up close, graphic, and 45 minutes long. See you next time.